Let's continue our conversation on sexual shame by diving into the causes of sexual shame. It doesn't just come from anywhere. We're not born with it. It's something that's imposed upon us by society, by beliefs, by other people's perspectives. It's wild, yet really beautiful to recognize that shame isn't ours. It doesn't belong to us. It happens to us, but it doesn't belong to us. What that means is that it comes from somebody else. And so when we can recognize this, we can let go of it. We can say, hey, this doesn't help me anymore. This isn't part of where I'm going. And I don't have to continue on with this. Shame often manifests as fear, discomfort, judgment from our own self when it comes to our sexual desires, our sexual wants, and our sexual interests. So let's talk further about where this shame comes from and how it affects us. This is an important part of the healing process because this is how we begin to recognize our right for self-expression, our right for sexual confidence, and our right for sexual empowerment. So one of the first places that we get sexual shame from is from societal messaging. Our society plays a super significant role in how we view ourselves, and it shapes and it molds us. For us as gay men, a lot of our upbringing has been tied to this message of the other, being labeled as less than or different or not worthy, and a lot of times even being labeled as wrong. These messages can come from media representation, so movies, TV shows, music, where LGBTQIA plus individuals and gay men like ourselves are often viewed as tragic or broken or faulty. And even though representation has improved over the years, there's still a lot of significant negative representation. And or a lot of us as adults are kind of concretized. That's not a word. Let's make that a verb. Or for those of us as adults, the media images that we grew up with has kind of become concrete in our mind. So even new representations that might be more helpful don't take away from the ones that we were raised with. Our sexual shame also often comes from our upbringing and our early childhood environments. So this can include family, religion, culture, community. If our family held negative views or beliefs about the LGBTQIA plus community, then that was what we were exposed to. That was imposed onto us. If we were raised in communities and cultures that were highly conservative and or religious, then those messages often aren't very highly favorable of the LGBTQIA plus community. And so we internalized all of that. When Becky Sue would be walking around town and shaming on the gay people, we took that in on our own. When Uncle Jay spewed off on some shit about how gay people are an abomination, we believed that to be true. When Pastor Pete said all gay people are going to hell and the entire congregation cheered, we believed that we were wrong. And so we took all of these messages in over time and we believed them because we weren't exposed to anything else. How can you believe something different if you're not exposed to it? You can't. But that's why I'm here. So we have things like society, media, family, community, culture, religion. These are all pretty powerful, and these are most of our life. So if we grew up in any one of these environments that had negative views of gay people, then we likely adopted some sexual shame based on that. And guess what? This applies to each and every single one of us because no matter what you have been exposed to, all of us have been exposed to societal's negative beliefs. And so, yes, each and every single one of us carries some amount of sexual shame. This belief that we are wrong, we are faulty, we are broken because we are gay, because we are different, because we are gay. And so we internalize this. We brought all of these messages in, and over time, we believed them to be true ourselves, where we believed it's wrong for us to have sex with other men, where we believe that it's wrong to be sexual beings at all, where we believe that it's wrong to enjoy the things that we enjoy, to be interested in the things that we are interested in. Even more, just think of the language that's used to describe gay people and queer people as a whole. In my family, anytime that I was dating anybody, they would call them my friend. They would never call them my boyfriend or my partner, but they would just call them my special friend. And so that told me that they don't accept who I am fully. And that told me that there's still some shame and there's still some judgment in that. So that didn't make me feel very safe or very welcome. And it made me feel less than in those spaces. As you can see, sexual shame comes from a lot of different spaces. It's pervasive. And if we don't catch these messages, then they're going to continue. So we have to begin recognizing these old unhelpful messages. In doing so, we get to replace them with new messages that are more helpful. Things like, I am allowed to be a sexual being. It's fun when I have sex. I'm allowed to enjoy the things that I enjoy. I can give myself and my body pleasure. I can put myself in safe situations. It's not bad to be gay. It's not wrong to be gay. And in fact, it's pretty fucking cool to be gay. All of these messages help us to alleviate that shame bit by bit. Read through the lesson below to dive even deeper into the causes of sexual shame and go one by one and answer the reflection prompts that are there. I want you to begin to recognize how sexual shame shows up for you, where it comes from, because when we can see where it comes from, we can then start to take the power back, which you are already doing because you're here. I'm so fucking proud of you. Let's keep this energy going, and I'll see you in the next video. I love you.